let me do some housekeeping items. If you can, please keep yourself on mute during the session, and please ask your questions over the chat. We are going to be accumulating those questions and answering them at the end of the session. And some questions were sent beforehand, so we're going to answer those in the beginning. Okay? So again, thank you for joining us. I'm Marcos Arancibia, Product Manager of Data Science and Big Data. Just our safe harbor, as always. If you have any questions, please contact us directly. And the next sessions to look for, just as a reminder, tomorrow there is a session on the database cloud service office hours at 10 a.m. Pacific. Charlie Berger, one of our product managers, is going to be speaking at that session regarding the use of machine learning results with Apex. And on January 8th, 2020, is our next Oracle Machine Learning office hours. We're going to be talking about machine learning for Python with demos. So for today, we have some news. Mark is going to talk a little bit about the news that the OAA option now is included for free with every Oracle database. We're going to go and answer the web questions that we received, and then we're going to move into our guest speaker, Wes Prichard, which is presenting the Oracle Comprehensive Machine Learning Platform for us. And at the end, we're going to go with a Q&A. So Mark, take it away.
Great. Well, thank you, Marcos. Yeah, we're really excited to tell you about the Oracle Advanced Analytics option, which is now included with the database license. So as of December 5th, we've incorporated not only machine learning, or the advanced analytics option, but also the spatial and graph options are now sort of bundled with the database license. And this really speaks to Oracle's objective to have a multi-model converged database. So whether you're dealing with many different types of data, or the data models, the algorithms like we have in the database, or graph algorithms, different workload types, that we can all access these through a single database. And the real value here is that this is at no additional cost. You can take full advantage of all of these features that we have associated with machine learning and spatial and graph in the Oracle database. So you might say, well, why did we take this approach? Well, one is Oracle's philosophy of having the technologies that enable users, application developers, and data scientists to make their applications more intelligent, make them take advantage of machine learning capabilities, and basically have greater use of the full breadth of Oracle database. Now, we've written about this in several blogs, coming up on the next slide, and you can read all about that. The general blog post, machine learning, spatial, and graph, no license required, and then one specific to the machine learning capabilities, and then spatial and graph as well. So you can either go to blogs.oracle.com and search directly there, or when these slides are made available, you can right-click on those and go directly to the links. So let's move on to the web questions that we had. So the first question was, does the inclusion of the advanced analytics option in the database also include Oracle R Enterprise, or as we've rebranded it, as I mentioned last time, the Oracle Machine Learning for R? And the answer is yes. So users who have the advanced analytics option not only get the benefits of the in-database algorithms directly, but also the capabilities with R. And the second question was, what is the plan for Oracle Data Miner, the user interface that we have incorporated with SQL Developer? And so what we are doing is providing web-based interface with the autonomous database. So we're focusing our energies on notebook technology incorporated with the autonomous database, as well as some futures that we'll be talking about in the coming months for automated machine learning capabilities with a simplified interface. We want to have a code-free environment that allows users to specify the data that they want to analyze, and the perhaps the target, what they're trying to predict, and have automated machine learning take over from there to produce models, support deployment of those models, and even the monitoring of those models. So Oracle Data Miner will remain largely as it is with SQL Developer, and it is geared more towards the on-premise and database as a service offerings. And then our main focus going forward is on autonomous database and the user interface at that level. So I hope that addresses those two questions for our audience. And with that, Marcus, why don't you further introduce our guest speaker?
Excellent. Thank you very much, Mark. So it's my pleasure to introduce Wes Prichard. He's Senior Director of Industry Solution Architecture, and he's going to be talking to us today about the Oracle's Comprehensive Machine Learning Platform. Wes, why don't you take it away, and thank you very much for joining us.
All right. Well, thank you, Marcus. It's a pleasure to be here today. Well, hello, everyone. What I want to tell you about today is really, I want to give you the big picture of what's going on with machine learning at Oracle. And I think you're going to be surprised to find there's really a lot going on. And we have a very comprehensive platform and to address a lot of different business needs. So here's our safe harbor once again. In short, anything I may say about future functionality in this presentation is subject to change, so just keep that in mind. So I think because you're probably here on this call today, you already understand the value of machine learning, and the businesses are learning that very rapidly, and there's a very high interest in machine learning across the industry, across business. With all this potential for machine learning, what's getting in the way of realizing more value? Well, from our experience with working with customers on their digital transformations and adoption of machine learning, we see there are some key challenges. And one of those is access to data. Data resides in different applications and different stovepipes scattered around the organization. A lot of that is on premises. But there's some data now that's in the cloud and moving to the cloud. And that creates a challenge of finding data and then being able to access that data and combine it together for machine learning solutions. And then you have the life cycle of building models, which can be very complex. We often think of that as the domain of the data scientist, but there's actually multiple roles involved. You have business analysts that are providing a business problem and may have some idea of how to go approach the problem and may have knowledge of some of the business data involved. And you have data engineers and application developers that may consume the model as the result. So that can create some complex dynamics in getting machine learning solutions built. And it's often important to be able to reuse past work. If someone has done a lot of work in building a model, you want to be able to build on what work they have done. And it can be difficult sometimes in finding that work or just putting it into use again. And then having access to tools and to the infrastructure to run those tools. Many IT organizations struggle with the challenges of supporting a data science operation. And then operationalizing ML. It's very important to achieve the return on investment of all that work that's going into that. And this is very important for the business. And it's how do you package models for consumption, or how do you deploy them in a way that they can be consumed in operations, and being able to monitor models and then be able to update them as they drift and need updating. So these are all challenges that we take into account in our overall platform. So really what we're trying to do is make machine learning easier for you. And I know this is a very broad kind of a statement, but I hope you see in the information that I'm going to show you that follows how we're doing that. We're trying to make it more simple. Machine learning is not a simple process, but we want to make it simpler for you. We want to add some simplicity in that process, give you more time in the process to focus on the important parts of the life cycle so that you can get the results that you're looking for. So first I want to tell you a little bit about what's going on at just Oracle in general around machine learning. We're not just focused on building machine learning tools. There's really a lot of things going on. And just kind of as a little bit of background, we have a conference every year, an internal conference on machine learning, where teams from all over the company can come together and talk about what they're doing with machine learning so others can learn and people working on similar problems can connect and collaborate. And this year, there were about 60 different teams there, and it was really fascinating to hear about many of the different initiatives that were going on across these different teams. And just from my own observations and listening to these, I concluded there are really 4 different buckets of activity that's going on. And I didn't have to use a classification algorithm to do that. Those buckets are what you see here: research and operations and services and products. Now, our research arm is Oracle Labs. And I don't know if any of you are aware of Oracle Labs, but it's a 1,000 employees. It's practically a company unto itself. And they have a machine learning research group as part of that organization. And that group is doing research in like statistical natural language processing and scalable machine learning and deep learning and all these very interesting areas. And they're also building tools that we use internally that we plan to eventually release as open source. And they also work with product teams and help with our own internal operations organizations with machine learning solutions. So then our operations, we actually are consuming and using machine learning internally. That's just part of the way Oracle does business. And there's a number of different areas where we're doing this. We cluster related product bugs for faster resolution. We find patterns in application logs. We analyze support requests. We use it to translate documentation. Oracle's a global company, and we support a lot of different languages around the world with our products. So that becomes a very large effort, and we're using some translation capabilities there. We're using machine learning to enhance our strategic security activities. Obviously, security is something very important to us as a company. And we also experience some of the same pains our customers do in putting machine learning into operations. A little anecdote here about our sales. Oracle Labs built a model for scoring leads coming in from marketing sources. And we wanted to make those leads, those scored leads, available to our sales organization so they could take advantage of which leads looks like we're going to be the most valuable. Well, to make a long story short, once that model was built, tested, and everything was working great, they put that into our sales application, and nothing happened. There was no change in behavior. And what they realized is just the model by itself is not enough. There has to be some organizational change to go along with that. And sure enough, they convinced the sales organization we got to do some things a little bit differently, and they changed how leads were prioritized based on the model and other activities. Well, after they made all these changes, they got a 2x increase in the leads as a result of this. So it actually provided some value, but it wasn't just the model itself. It's many factors that go into that. And that's a lesson that we take to heart very seriously because our customers deal with those same kinds of issues. Now, on the services side, our services arm, Oracle Consulting, is seeing a fast-growing demand for machine learning expertise, and they're providing machine learning specialists. And we've also developed some specialized services to help customers get started and use some specialized algorithms that are coming out of Oracle Labs but aren't in our products yet. And then probably most importantly to you is the work that's going on in our products. and there's new features that are coming to make the applications work better. There's a lot going on in our enterprise applications like ERP and HCM and supply chain and marketing, and in our industry apps for utilities and banking and health services and many different industries. Our platform services and technology are both using machine learning to provide better features and better services, and then there's the machine learning tools. And that's where I'm eventually going. I'm going to tell you more about those tools that we have as part of our machine learning platform. So this is how we describe our approach to artificial intelligence and machine learning technology at Oracle as a whole. So Ready to Go talks about our applications, because you can subscribe or buy an application and just use the functionality that's there. And we're putting machine learning driven features into our applications. And we also have applications that are specifically focused around machine learning functionality, like our adaptive intelligent apps, and we're driving intelligent user experiences, conversational agents. So there's a lot going on just in the application space where customers don't have to know anything about machine learning. They can just take advantage of that functionality that's already there. And Ready to Work applies to our platform services. These are cloud services, the prime example being Autonomous Database, where we've been building on Autonomous Database or the Oracle database for years, and now have incorporated machine learning features in it to make it self-driving, self-securing, self-repairing. And then another good example is Oracle Analytics Cloud, which has a number of machine learning driven features like the explain feature that will automatically generate a written description of a visualization that you do. And I previously mentioned how we're applying machine learning to our cloud infrastructure's operational data to improve security and reliability and efficiency. Now, Ready to Build refers to our machine learning platform. It serves your data scientists, your citizen data scientists, and others that work with data. It's the tools that we provide to build and deploy machine learning models, but it's also the supporting services like data management and analytics and infrastructure. So I'm going to talk about this area in a little more depth. So when we think about building machine learning solutions, probably the first thing that comes to mind is, okay, what are the tools I'm going to use to go build my machine learning models? You know, is it Python? Is it R? Is it something else? And while that's important, when we step back a little bit and look at this larger process, machine learning solutions always start with data. If you don't have data, you don't have anything. And these solutions always need to be driven by a business need, a business problem that you have to go solve. So starting from there, then once you have data, then you need some sort of data management to store and secure and serve that data for the various purposes, and particularly for machine learning. And then you have the machine learning tools, and while they're important, you still need infrastructure to run those tools on. And for machine learning, scalability becomes very important because of the fact that one day you might just be writing script code for your model, and another day you may be training a model, and those are two very different operations that require different levels of compute. And ultimately, you need to get your model into use. So you have consuming systems. Sometimes it might be an individual user. Sometimes it might be a business intelligence application, or it could be some other application within the organization. It might be mobile, or it might be some sort of enterprise application. But being able to deploy and consume the results of your machine learning is very important. So Oracle's approach to machine learning encompasses all of those things. And when you break it down, we really have three different paths to take advantage of machine learning and build your own machine learning solutions. Well, why do we have three different approaches? Because one size doesn't fit all. But the important thing here is you're not limited to just picking one of these approaches. You can use any or all of them in combination if it makes sense to you. So first, we provide capabilities to build and execute machine learning in our data management platforms. We've been doing this a long time, and we continue to invest heavily in this approach. You can think of this as bringing the algorithms to the data, which means you don't have to move your data out of your secure Oracle data management platform to do machine learning. It opens up machine learning to people traditionally involved in data management, and it enables them to build on their existing skills. It provides access to Oracle's scalable high-performance algorithms as well. And then second, we've acquired datascience.com last summer, and we're in the process of bringing their platform to the market for enabling data science teams to be able to work on Oracle Cloud infrastructure. So this is a proven approach. Datascience.com had a product on the market prior to acquisition, and now we're bringing it onto the Oracle platform. So this is proven. It's about access to open source, collaboration, and productivity with any data source. And then third, if you have a specific tool or platform that you want to run in the cloud, you can do that on Oracle Cloud infrastructure and take advantage of Oracle's high performance and low cost second generation infrastructure. So I'm going to go talk about each of these in more detail. So I'm going to start out within Oracle Machine Learning. So this is the machine learning in our data management systems. So first, before we just go jumping right into the machine learning capabilities, I want to show you this picture of Oracle's data platform. Now this is not a comprehensive picture. There's a lot of capabilities there, but I want to highlight some of the key capabilities related to machine learning. The takeaway here is that we've got capabilities to capture data, ingest, store, manage any and all types of data. And Oracle continues to be a leader in data management solutions with the autonomous database, of course, and our machine learning tools are complemented by this comprehensive platform. So let's now, I'm going to focus on these highlighted boxes. These are our big data and our relational database data management platforms. So here's another picture of the relational databases. On the top there you have the Oracle Autonomous Database, and then the lower two are the Oracle Database on-premises, and the cloud implementation of Oracle Database. Now you notice in each of those little icons there is ML, machine learning. These are the machine learning algorithms that are embedded in the database kernel. And that's been there for quite a while, and we continue to build on that capability. Now the question is, how do you consume the machine learning capability that's built right into the database? Well, let's look at all these different ways to access those machine learning algorithms. The first is Oracle Machine Learning for SQL. This is the interface that's been around the longest. It allows you to write SQL script to build and train and execute machine learning models. And you can take advantage of that using Oracle SQL Developer, which is free download, for interacting with Oracle Database, and then also the command line as well, SQL Plus. And specifically around autonomous database, we have Oracle Machine Learning Notebooks. So this allows you to use a notebook, specifically the Apache Zeppelin notebook, which is included, to build your SQL code to consume or to write and execute these models. Then specifically for Oracle Database, both on-premises and cloud, we have Oracle Machine Learning for R and Oracle Data Miner. So Oracle Machine Learning for R obviously allows you to write R code for your models. And Data Miner, as Mark talked about a little earlier, that's the codeless interface to build machine learning models. And it's delivered as a add-on to SQL Developer. And then coming soon is Oracle Machine Learning for Python. This is a highly anticipated new capability that will expand both the notebooks and for all platforms give you access to Python as a way to build machine learning models, and this is a very popular language right now. And this is also going to include automated machine learning. You might know it by AutoML, which is, there's some really cool capabilities here. So one of the most powerful capabilities of our data platform extends SQL queries from the Oracle database to other platforms like Hadoop and NoSQL and object stores. You may have heard of Oracle Big Data SQL. It works on premises, and Oracle Cloud SQL is essentially the same capability that's in the cloud, implemented in both Autonomous Database and the upcoming Big Data Service. So this capability gives your machine learning solutions fast access to more data, and it simplifies that access because you're doing it all through standard SQL, and it takes care of the processing load, pushing that down to the platforms where it can, and it gives you much better performance than just running, let's say, a query against a Hadoop database without Oracle Big Data SQL or Cloud SQL. And so on our Apache Spark clusters, we provide Oracle Machine Learning for Spark. And this provides a library of optimized machine learning algorithms exposed through an R API to run and scale on Spark. Our testing has shown that our algorithms are up to 7 times faster than Spark's ML library, which saves you time, and our algorithms can also process large data sets when Spark ML Lib can't due to memory limitations. This works on do-it-yourself Spark clusters, the upcoming Oracle Big Data Service, on the Oracle Big Data Appliance. Now I want to go to that second approach to our machine learning tools, which is OCI Data Science. That's the upcoming service. Let's take a look at some of the capabilities it's going to provide. So, as I mentioned, this service came from the acquisition of datascience.com last year. It will access Autonomous Database and object storage, and ultimately that will include Big Data Service via Cloud SQL. It enables data science teams through a project-oriented user interface for productivity and collaboration. It's designed to be independent of any particular machine learning language or tool, but it will initially focus on Python environments. So data scientists work in access-controlled projects. You create a project. Your project contains JupyterLab notebooks. These notebooks run in sessions where every time you start your session up, you can specify the CPUs and memory and storage that you need for that session. So you've got a lot of flexibility there in managing the infrastructure that you're using. You can check your code in and out of your organization's Git repository for version control and preservation. So this allows you to, and there's also a model repository as well. But this gives you reusability of models. When the model is built, it can be deployed as a function on the cloud infrastructure. And we're also including our own accelerated data science Python SDK to support and accelerate the machine learning lifecycle with visualization and feature engineering, distributed model training, and model evaluation. So there's a lot of really interesting features here around this. But it's not out yet. It'll be coming soon, and so keep an eye out for that. Now, the third approach to our machine learning tools is to bring your own tools to the Oracle Cloud. So this picture shows a number of different partners that we have that are providing their capabilities on Oracle Cloud infrastructure. We provide compute and containers and network and storage and database and edge infrastructure to support those different logos. So these are available through the cloud marketplace, and many are part of our Quick Start program that provides simplified deployment through pre-built Terraform modules. And if there's something you have that's not on this list, that's not excluded, you can bring any of your licenses to Oracle Cloud and do similar capabilities right on our infrastructure. So those were the three approaches, but I want to also tell you about some important associated capabilities I'm calling advanced analytics capabilities that support machine learning. Specifically, I'm talking about graph analytics. So it's important because it augments machine learning. And many of our customers that are using our machine learning capabilities are also using graph analytics. Sometimes they use them together, sometimes they use them for different types of problems. They're very complementary. Graph is useful for many types of analysis. It's used for any type of connected data like social networks, transportation networks, supplier dependencies, financial relationships, nearly anything. Graphs are an alternative type of modeling that might detect previously hidden features or patterns that you really can't get to any other way. And the results of graph analysis can be visualized and inspected interactively. So you can use graph and machine learning together to provide more comprehensive results. And this example shows how metrics computed from a graph could be added to a predictive model to make predictions more accurate. And also shows, going back the other direction, how the results of a model can be added to a graph for further exploration or additional graph analysis. Now let's look at how is graph deployed? How is it consumed in the different platforms? So here's that same picture you saw earlier of Oracle database and its different flavors. And notice on the lower two, we have graph and ML there. So graph is part of Oracle database, both on premises, through the licensed version, and through the cloud versions. So notice it says spatial and graph database option, and the option is scratched out. And what I'm referring to is what Mark was telling you at the beginning of the call here. This is no longer an option. It is just included now, and you can take advantage of that. Spatial is also a part of that, and I didn't talk about that a lot, but it's another very cool feature for dealing with all kinds of spatial data. And now, if you've got licenses for the database or you're using the database cloud service, you can just take advantage of that. Now, I didn't show graph and autonomous database, but we're working to provide a graph engine with data modeling, with notebooks. It's a lot of really cool features to provide graph capabilities with autonomous database. That's coming. And then on the big data side, we have big data spatial and graph. That it's an option on the big data appliance. It will be part of Oracle Big Data Service. It's available for do-it-yourself Spark clusters and Hadoop clusters. That's where you get graph for the big data platform. So to kind of sum everything up, we talked about getting more simplicity. And you get more simplicity when you have easier access to data, when you can bring your algorithms to the data with Oracle Machine Learning and with Cloud SQL and using SQL access to more data. You have easier environment management through ready-to-use environments, both in OCI Data Science and through our data management platforms. You have easier deployment because you can build and deploy right in the database. You get more time for doing data science and producing results when you can collaborate more effectively, when you can find and reuse previous machine learning work. You can reduce tedious tasks through AutoML and our accelerated data science SDK, and that's both for expert and non-expert data scientists. And you can use high-performance tools. They use optimized Oracle algorithms in our data management platforms and high-performance cloud infrastructure. You get more results when you have access to both on-premises and cloud solutions. So OML for both on-prem and cloud data management, access data in the cloud or on-prem. You can let your staff use their language of choice, whether that's SQL, R, Python. So you've got a lot of flexibility and ultimately empower your different roles in the data science process to deliver more. So that's the big picture for Oracle, and I hope it's helped you appreciate how committed Oracle is to doing machine learning, helping our customers get the value from machine learning, and supporting that with an entire platform that enables return on investment and getting the most value for your efforts. So thank you. We will, I believe, take some questions now.
Thank you very much, Wes. That was excellent. Yeah, so we've been having a few questions already on the chat. If you guys have questions about Wes's presentation, about Oracle Machine Learning, anything, you guys can ask us on the chat. And we've been answering already. Most of the questions, I believe, are already answered. A few others might be more of an internal purpose. Just a reminder that we do have customers on the call as well. So this is an open session for everyone. So some of these links that other people might be sharing might not work for everyone. But in any case, please let us know. And if you want to ask your question, just unmute yourself, and you can do that as well.
Do you know when the datascience.com will be available?
Hey, Wes?
Yeah. So Oracle only allows me to be somewhat vague about that answer. It will be available in this current fiscal year, which ends in May. But I can also say we're expecting it pretty soon.
Okay.
Is there a possibility of having the upcoming technologies like OML for Pi and other technologies which are on the pipeline for internal evaluation for Oracle consulting and other products?
Sure. This is Marcus here. Yes, definitely, Parag. And you know, in the OML for Pi, the Oracle Machine Learning for Pi, for example, right now is actually in beta testing at customers today. So, and actually, if you guys have candidates, you know, you can reach out to us for that as well. But internally, yes, you can definitely ping us, and we can, you know, give you a link on how to get that going and installed and all of that. And I believe that datascience.com, for example, they are in limited availability as well. So if you have an OCI tenancy that you guys use for testing purposes, I believe you can also send and contact Elena Sunshine, and then maybe you guys can get access to that, you know, before it goes GA.
Yes, that will help.
Yeah, one question about machine learning capabilities in Oracle Analytics Cloud. So we are saying that we have these machine learning capabilities in multiple components in our solution. So what is the roadmap for improving the machine learning capabilities of Oracle Analytics Cloud as a product? Do we have any roadmap for improving the capabilities there, or how is it?
Well, for Oracle Analytics Cloud, I would defer to product management for that that product. What I can say is that Certainly, there is the ability to leverage the Oracle machine learning capabilities in the database in combination with Oracle Analytics Cloud, because anything we can make scores available through SQL, and those can be readily consumed by the Oracle Analytics Cloud interface. There are actually a number of resources on their website that highlight the combination of Oracle Analytics Cloud in use with the in-database machine learning. So I would encourage you to check out their examples and whatnot. But definitely consider reaching out to the Oracle Analytics team for more details on their specific roadmap.
Okay, thank you.
Quick question. Earlier, when you talked about the ready-to-build product, you mentioned there was a bullet point for data management under the ML platform. What specifically is that? Or if one wanted to, I guess, get access to it, what exactly should we look for?
So if you recall, there was a slide after that where I showed our data platform. And so there are actually a lot of different components to data management within Oracle Cloud and Oracle capabilities on premises. It includes data integration for capturing and moving data between systems. It includes a number of different data management repositories, Oracle Database being the premier relational database, our big data platforms, which include Big Data Appliance, the upcoming Big Data Service that handle Hadoop and unstructured data types. We have NoSQL database. So there's lots of different data management components that make up our overall data platform.
Okay, so it's because I took a print screen of it. So it's the process and management layer. So it's basically everything from streaming.
Yes.
Okay, so then it's a variety of products. They're not in one place, everything. It's
correct. And so these give you a lot of different components that can be put together in different ways for different types of business problems.
Okay.
I think the key takeaway there is that we can store any type of data in Oracle, in the Oracle data platform. We can get it in from pretty much any source, whether that's batch data, streaming data, and then you can consume that in a number of different ways through analytics and machine learning and integration to many different types of information systems.
One last question. The Big Data Appliance, is that the same Big Data, the BDA that we've always had?
Yes.
Just with new features around, I guess, machine learning.
Yeah, those have actually been there all along.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Well,
Any more questions?
I have one more then. So if I go on demo services at the moment, is there any way we can find out what out of all these features we can actually get access to, or what's available, or how do we, is there a way to get to a demo service pod that would have a lot of these, or would we have to do different ones? Because these are all spread out as I'm looking at it, so I don't know if there's going to be one way to demo all these, or would have to be multiple environments.
Right. Without giving any specifics on the demo services, but basically you would be able to do demos. I mean, most of these components have tutorials, right? So for example, on the machine learning side, we have tutorials for the notebook. We have tutorials for SQL developer side. We have tutorials for R. We have upcoming tutorials for Python, right? So we, depending on what kind of process you want to see and the way you want to look at these things, you might look for tutorials, right? Oracle Analytics Cloud have machine learning tutorials on their side, right? And demos that you can actually very easily see. So each of these components, I would argue, has tutorials that can potentially get you going. On the specific component or platform that you were talking about, we would have to consult with sales consultants, because on the PM side, we don't really have access to that platform, right? We don't really use that.
I would just emphasize that, today any customer can do a trial in Oracle Cloud or use the free tier, get access to autonomous database, and take advantage of Oracle machine learning in that database.
Exactly.
Hi. I have a question about datascience.com. I wonder, if datascience.com actually running in OCI container engine for Kubernetes, or basically datascience.com will just build the platform on VM only.
Okay, that's a great question. I believe that's probably more appropriate for the PM team on the datascience.com side, but I would argue that they are working, and they've been working hard on getting that on the native OCI. Last time I saw, I believe it was going to be Kubernetes, but that's, again, I apologize, because I'm not on that team, right? So I think it's a great question for that specific team. So if you want to send us an email, we'll be more than glad to refer you to that team for sure.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Unless Wes knows about it, Wes, but.
Yeah, I know at one time that was the part of the architecture, but I can't tell you for sure if that's where it's at this point.
Okay, thanks.
All right. Any more questions? We've had a couple of questions.
One more question
Sure.
for me, if I may. Guys, do you plan to go with OAC on Cloud at Customer? I've heard that AWS is going with some analytics on Outpost, this private cloud of them. Do we plan to do the same?
Right. I believe that the Cloud at Customer or the future of the OCI at Customer, right? I think that's the. I'm not exactly sure the name of that, but I believe that there are plans for going with that. And if that happens, right, depending on the customer investment, Oracle would actually build an OCI at Customer. With that, you would get potentially access to all of the different services available for OCI. Now, that is going back to that safe harbor, right, statement. So that is definitely not something, that I can confirm, right, for you right now. So that's something that you would have to check potentially with the OAC team, developers. The product management, right, for OAC. But there is. I would argue that there is a lot of intention for Oracle, right, to invest in the Cloud Customer platform as well, for sure.
All right. Cheers.
The same way that when you're going to see autonomous moving, right? So when the autonomous moves to the Cloud Customer, then at that point, on our side from the Oracle Machine Learning, we'll have to work on getting the machine learning components there and how to get access to that platform as well for our customers. So that's part of that process. And the other question I see is the recording, right? So there is only a single link that you guys have. The same link you used to join today, the meeting, and to connect to that page is going to be the only link needed, because every time you click on that link, you come back to the session, and you're going to see the next session, and you're going to see the recording of the previous sessions, and you're going to see access to the slides presented as well. So we're going to have all of those things available to you guys. Yeah, and the Zoom people asking about the Zoom dialogue, right? I think you can actually capture it yourself, at any time. So there is a button there on the top on the chat. I believe you can actually save your chat as well. But we'll see how if there's a way for us to keep it and expose it somehow with after the recording. All right. Well, if there are no more questions, then thank you very much for joining. Thank you, Mark, and thank you, Wes, for the presentations. And we'll see you guys on January 8th. Really appreciate you guys joining.
Okay.
Thank you.
So long, everyone.